Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Thursday, and we already dropped into a daily fair value gap, which was my target yesterday. Not much really more for me to do right now. We have a bunch of Fed speakers. ES has a little ways to go until the daily FEG. Hope everyone's doing amazing. Good morning. Let's see, chat. What did you vote? Bullish, bearish, or neutral? Good morning, Philcos. And good morning, Pablo. Good morning, Frank. BTC said he was bearish at the open. That's cool. Amazon is down a lot. Actually, Nvidia's down a lot, 2.6%. Yeah, it's hitting a previous weekly low again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, TradingView's hitting me with this annoying ass. We have this open while I do that on another screen, right? That's cool, JTT. Maybe his own editor. So I said, hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. All right, I'm just gonna have to do that on this. Okay. Let's see if that worked out. Okay. Yep. So yes is in its daily FEG now. And quick yesterday and today with its opens, right? Wearing my glasses, yeah. Clean them a bit. So I said, hey. We're deep inside that daily FEG for NASDAQ. We just tapped it for an ES. When's the next speaker? Let's see. I couldn't if I tried, and I said 10:30. Literally the same thing as yesterday. It's the open. He dropped like 180 points in the first 10 minutes. What did y'all vote? Oh no. See a market on my floor and it's open. So 45% of you guys voted bearish, majority, and 41% voted bullish, and 13% voted neutral. How interesting. Now, let's see on the daily what we got here. Moved around already 420 points. ATR is 448. ES it is. $81. No. Everyone. Someone said that they wish that the short happened after, more later. Okay. Well, Just gotta work with what you have. Just gotta work with what you have. What day is it? Thursday? Isn't it funny? Jade Cap and me were, well, I was actually first wanted the Thursday on Monday. I wanted the Thursday high. Jade Cap wanted lower prices. Sometimes it doesn't happen until Thursday. Okay, let's see. Nice job, Frank Stevens. You got a 2-hour win. Nice. Very nice. Yesterday was a fun day here on stream. We loaded up the money gun. I said I would if last Friday I was supposed to probably. It was a pretty banger trade on Friday. Just did not feel in the mood. I promised. I said if next week it happens, I'll do it. So there we go. And cleaned up about half of the mess. The sun's on my desk. Thankfully, my assistant's coming in person today. She'll be organizing things. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What we gonna do? Well, you guys voted mostly bearish, but now what? You know, we're in the NWOG for NASDAQ. Yes, it's quite far removed from the NWOG. Let's see this heat map. So a lot of people ask me where I see this heat map. I just go on TradingView. I open up the heat map. But I also do pay for data for the stocks, NASDAQ and the NYSE stock data, so that this is updated right away. Otherwise, it'll be like 15 minutes delayed. So 2.71% drop in Tesla. I saw that coming, right? I think it still has more downside to go, honestly. Nvidia could move lower as well. You guys think, are we calling the top in the market? I don't know. We'll see. But I do see Nvidia could be kind of like consolidating / inch lower. Only thing that's green again is Apple, so something to note. Definitely. Oh, great. Geophosophy says if you have an AMP account, you can get a basic data feed for like $1 a month and get live data in TradingView. Is that for? But that's not for. Isn't AMP only futures though? I'm talking about the stocks. Wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for the lovely bouquet. The government's no longer shut down, you guys. It's a grand reopening. It's the longest shutdown in history. So last night, the House passed a bill to fund the government through January 30th. So we'll see if it shuts down again after that. You know, we don't know. They were supposed to do this a long time ago. That's typically how they should be dealing with disagreements like that. So 44 days, right? Yeah, 40, yeah, it was 43 days, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was last night. The deal to resume government functions came together after 8 Democratic senators broke ranks, allowing Republicans to pass a funding bill without extending the enhanced healthcare subsidies Democrats were fighting for. The package also included reinstatement of federal workers who were laid off during the shutdown and a controversial provision allowing some Republican senators to sue over investigations relating to January 6, 2021. 6 Democrats also voted with Republicans in the House. About 800,000 federal employees who have been furloughed or working without pay will start receiving a paycheck again and get back pay. So we retraced. We're in a bearish 5-minute, 15-minute right now. Oh, no, not 15 yet. It's very young in the, how would you say, market session. Okay, the spending package restores full funding for SNAP benefits through next September. Some of the nearly 42 million Americans who rely on the program should receive funds within 24 hours, but the timeframe will vary by state. I think it's truly insane that 42 million Americans are on food stamps. So 42 divided by 342, that's 12% of the population. Open enrollment for health insurance through the Affordable Care Act begins today. That's probably why they did it then. Probably health insurance lobbying or something. Who knows? The FAA started cutting flights to ease pressure on temporary unpaid air traffic controllers last week, causing travel disruptions that peaked on Sunday with nearly 3,000 flight cancellations and 11,000 delays. I know many people that were caught up in that. With the shutdown over, the FAA says that the cuts would remain at 6% this week rather than rising to 10% as planned and will be lifted once it's safe to do so. Okay. However, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association president Nick Daniels said earlier this week that it took over 2 months for staffing levels to rebound after the last shutdown ended in 2019. I'm not planning on traveling within the next 2 months. I'm good. And government data will be weird for a while. There will be delays, and the White House said inflation and jobs data from October, which the government has not been collecting, may never be released. That would leave the Fed without critical information when deciding whether or not to cut interest rates in December. They were not collecting that data. That's great. Yeah, makes sense. They weren't getting paid. They were going to work. So the CPI report and the NFP report from October may never be released. So that pertains to us, right? Slow clap it out, as they say. So people, we reached my target for NASDAQ. It's hard for me to involved right now. I think at 10, I could get a clearer picture of this. This looks quite similar. Like the 4-hour yesterday was wild, right? It's not wild. Basically said that this was easy salad targets for ES, and look how we wicked that. Now this is a good sign. We're inverting that for ES. NASDAQ, can't say there's like a similar vibe. I think just the daily FEG has that 4-hour bearish fair value gap, then another drop. I mean, if we're gonna get more downside, which honestly I'm still bearish for the rest of this week, I think I'm gonna just keep my bear hat on, but gotta be good about choosing the spots. I want to get a bear hat now. Damn. I'm gonna text that to my assistant. I'll explain later. Bear hat. Paper money. I need more paper money too. Tablecloth. I think that would be so cute. Yeah. Okay. Refocus. What was I saying? Yeah, I think that I'm still bearish. I mean, a pullback would be healthy. I'm looking at these major stocks in the NASDAQ, and I think a lot of them are pulling back after being extended. It's a healthy pullback. And I think that, well, Tesla still has more downside. I think that Google, has downside. NVIDIA has some downside, but I think that NVIDIA would probably be a consolidation, slow move lower. See, Microsoft, I think there's more downside to a weekly low. Yeah. So, like, just overall, the next couple months, I think it'll be healthy to have a pullback. However, I got to keep it 100. Can't be guessing tops or too biased. Because if you look at the monthly, I think we've had just straight up months, you guys, for the past 6 months or so, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up close candle months in a row. When was the last time we've seen that? We had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And a little pullback like this would be healthy. We have a couple monthly fair value gaps down here. Wouldn't that be nice? That's looking a little far ahead. I'm not really a swing trader, especially not to the downside. I never swing trade shorts for more than like 1 day. It's just too much stress and just lost too much money doing that, to be honest. Seen people lose money doing that also. I have a friend who, was holding puts, and I think he was up a ton of money. He's not a trader. I think it's just he's treating it like a hobby. During the tariff talks, he was up a ton. To the point, didn't realize it. I like all of these. My target was this, I think. This weekly fair value gap level. Anyway, he didn't take any profits at all. 0. He ends up losing $50,000 in his puts. Don't worry, he'll be all right. He'll probably do it again. Because he certainly doesn't. The euphoria gets to some people when they're holding shorts, Shorts tend to move down faster than longs move up. So that dopamine hit really gets them. They love it. Anyway, let me kind of review what's happening here. ES still has a bit to get to the NWOG. It just retraced to 50% of this drop down since the open. Let me see here. Is this a 15-minute? Oh, that'll be nice if it is. Oh, it did. It's like a 15-minute FEG here. She said to me, oh, Lord. Nasdaq did not creep back up into here. A little bit weaker, right? Yeah. Well, obviously, it actually hit that NWOG, right? Nasdaq. What was the hourly? Ooh. Okay, cool. I kind of want to mark out the hourly open. I did yesterday, so I can have a good idea. Where price is. Like a new reference to price. All right. Oh, okay. See if it's like a significant SMT. No SMT. Actually, there is an SMT here on the 1 minute. Right? SMT. No FEG for ES. I don't know, NASDAQ. There's no FEG for ES. So we could dig back up into here. NASDAQ still has this 15-minute up here. But you do have a SMT at the high. So some people might be liking that to try their hands at shorts. See, there's a 3-minute fair value gap forming right now on the ES, actually. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. Sweeter than a peach, but you don't know. Okay, I don't need this fib anymore. I can use this fib now. Check out NASDAQ, how it reacts to this PG if it does retract to it. Yes, got like a 30-second one here. On the 3-minute, it has a 3-minute one as well, but there's no, it's only a tiny part of it is in discount. The 30 seconds in discount here, so I'll kind of be watching that. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet, sweeter than a peach. But you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. You're never gonna wanna. See what NASDAQ has in store. Someone said the other day that my singing is their indicator or something. I thought that was funny. All right, so let's see here. I don't know why I marked that out that way. Is there a 2-minute that's not like that? It's this. No, I'm very curious to see how this candle closes. Oh, it's like pumping at the moment. Let's see how this candle does. Deep retracements, which, kind of makes sense if you look at the 1-minute, wicks up here. It's not the end of the world. Still reject here. We've seen that plenty of times. I want to see how this 1-minute candle ends on NASDAQ, but honestly, right now, it's not looking that promising. Her name is Kitty. No, it's all right. So, just gonna wait. I'm glad. I'm glad I wasn't fully convinced. It's still no trade for me. We're digging into that 15-minute now again. I'm gonna erase that. And 15. Sweeter than a peach. I'm still neutral. I'm not particularly bullish. We're in the 15-minute. Look at this, like these hourly fair value gaps. That's my thing. It's like I'd rather stay with this overall trend than guess a move up to just here. It's not really worth it for me. Let's mark out that as well, actually. This is a drop from London, or, yeah, sure, 5 a.m. That's the thing, is that I could end up coming all the way back up into here and still be bearish overall. If it ends up inverting this, then, bulls could get back in control and take this, this, and this. That's what I'm saying, is that we could end up taking that buy side. Let me take this out and still be bearish overall. Let's see. We can mark out minor buy side. Minor BSL. Let's go on the 5 also here. Oh yeah, and this is now an inversion for ES. Also BPR, right? Yeah. on the 4-hour. Could come back up into this and it could still be bearish after the fact. I mean, I would actually love it if one of them took out the minor bias side and the other one didn't. Then I'd be looking for shorts. See what it's done so far. So right now, it's NASDAQ is reaching into its 15-minute. ES. Is he on the 5 again? Yeah, that's the buy side on the 5. Sure, I'll mark out 9:30 is here. That's the minor buy side anyway for NASDAQ. If someone did just short immediately within there, I mean, at least they can be happy that they got stopped out immediately, right? But I'm glad that we decided we're going to see what the reaction is here, and it was quite a strong reaction, and it inverted it. So I did say, I can't be going too heavy on the bear side once we did hit this NWOG for NASDAQ. So let's continue. I'm going to look at this leg up to the upside. I mean, I could see it retracing to 50% and going for another push up to that buy side to stop out people that are trailing their shorts to here. Where's the first presented fair value gap of the day? Let's see. It's here, right? Yeah. We just inverted it. I'd rather just look at this overall structure though. So let's see how this 15 minutes closing quite bullish there. Okay. Okay. I have to kind of remember, that this daily FEG here. Okay. And I'm looking at how the daily looks like. You have a 4-hour hourly. Where's that 4 hours? Is it the same? That's an hourly. I like the hourly. Yeah. Bearish. Hourly bearish fair value gap. Okay, so since it inverted, this just kind of ran away. I don't feel any FOMO with this. Just gonna wait to see what happens after this minor buy side's taken. And we're in that hourly or 4-hour inversion here. And hourly for ES. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. Sweeter than a peach. Alright. What's YM doing? I know yesterday. And I know YM's typically not correlated. Are inversely correlated to the NASDAQ. And okay, it's also been just more steady. Just chopping around this morning. Actually a good sign then. For potential more bearishness in ES to that new week opening gap if Dow isn't that bullish. Okay. Nasdaq did not hit that minor buy side from 9:30. ES hit the 9:30 high, but not the 5-minute minor buy side. I think I'd rather just wait to see if they ideally come back to here. All right. Pay attention. You guys like my hoodie? This is a risk. Who wish I'd hurry? Do you like it? Me gusta, says Filch. Tanya, how do we trade London close? Like you normally trade? $12 noon oil inventories moves market too, but these Fed speakers are definitely manipulating today. I agree. They're speaking. There's one speaking at 10:30. Let me make sure he doesn't start speaking too early. Just yap, yap, yap. All I do is yap. Imagine if a Fed speaker, like, if their son or something or daughter watched my stream. That'd be hilarious. Let me actually see. Can Fed speakers trade stocks? No, they're banned from purchasing individual stocks. Following an ethics scandal, comprehensive new rules were adopted in 2022 to guard against conflicts of interest. Well, good. Like, are we surprised? However, next stop, Congress needs to be banned from trading stocks, but they're never going to do that because they're the ones that have to ban themselves. Like, why would they do that? They just, as we've seen with government officials, the only thing they can agree on is voting to give themselves a raise or something. Oh, la la. I'm not going to short. These are basically equal highs now on NASDAQ. In fact, I would probably be eyeing, if I was like long buys, which I'm not really, maybe short term to here. Here we're retracing now to 50% of this leg. We inverted the 15. And there's a bunch of stacked bullish fair value gaps here. No, long's not a bad idea. Personally, I'm just going to tape read it. I'm not taking longs to here. I'm just tape reading this to see if this is going to work out from this to here. Is this going to now go and keep this intact? If this low gets broken, then that's bad news. The issue with going long here for me personally is the hourly looks still bearish. I'm bearish bias mostly still. And what was the thing I wanted to say? On the RR, I think is just not that great. And it's just such a wide stop as well. Yeah, if you were just to enter here, say you could probably, you definitely could. Someone could trim that stop to there. It's a 1.2 R for it's just risking too much for me. Others might be waiting for maybe an inversion to the upside after this pullback. That's how a lot of people tend to play it. And then they might put their stop at like a little swing low here after making inversion to the upside. That's not a bad way to play it, honestly. Oh, I'm still going to be sort of just tape reading this. Yes, now, and it's 50%. There's a mitigation block here. I mean, really, where the 3 PD arrays fail would be... Yeah, it's just too big of a stop for me. If it comes to retest that inversion, would that be interesting? That I made here. So far today is not. There's no trend overall for the day. If you look at just the RTH, yeah, I could see the bulls wanting to come up and fill this gap more. To be honest, right? Dropped at the open. Wait, where did we open? We opened here, yeah. That's the thing. 50% of this gap down is above the hourly. I don't think that's yeah, I'm not gonna get into the longs. I personally think like we could tap into this and I would look for shorts after. So I'm still tapering to see if we're gonna get up here. Ideally we do. Yeah, I want the bulls to win in this leg, right? I do. Would make tape reading and trading everything else a lot easier. A lower 2-minute. It's in a lower 2-minute FEG. NASDAQ, it's in the mitigation block here. See if ideally it holds here to remain strong. I want to make that a different color. Oh well. What color should my mitigation blocks be? I don't know. Orange. No. I love a good purple. My Vibs are purple too, but I don't use them often, so. Wait, do I not have that? I have one already? I do. Oh, it's yellow. I already did this. I still like the purple better. I was wicking it. I don't know. It doesn't look that. That looks okay. Look too terrible. Keep in mind it's also just it's an order block on the 2-minute. See where the midpoint of this is. This is what I said like yesterday. Someone asked me if I care about the wicks. No, for here especially, I would just take out the body of this consecutive down move. This is 50%. Also the inversions here. Essentially where I would probably think that this is sort of the last line in the sand. We better bounce here if we're going to go back up, you know. If we violate this low, I really have to go back to the drawing board because for my short idea, I want it to take out this high. So I don't know what I would do if this low gets violated before that high. So I have mitigation block, inversion, and OBs here. Let's see if this is sort of the last line of the sand. And yes, inversion. You see, like, that's why I didn't want to just enter here at the 50%. It could just retrace deeper, and then it's a lot of just pain and energy, like drawdown, sitting in drawdown for a bit. Yeah, could put in OT entry, but still, I think it's quite a big stop loss. So ES is in that 3-minute inversion EPR area now. Yeah, let's see if this ends up getting any traction to the upside soon. Maybe I'd enter longs if we had an interesting energetic shift up versus that high. Seems like easier. We'll see. Mitigation block not really acting very well here. This was better, this wick here, and now we're just hanging around, so it doesn't really make me that excited for the long side. You know. Oh no. I would have been in shorts if it took out this and then inverted that. But it didn't. Very interesting so far. Oh, chat. I'm sure a lot of people were bullish after this huge leg up, but now we've definitely lost some momentum. Let's see. The Fed speaker just started, I think. It's 10:30, right? See anything? Gotta stay up to date to any headlines that might come out now. Tesla shares are down 5%. That's no surprise. You've heard me yesterday say that Tesla had more room to the downside. I should have swung puts on Tesla. Should, would have, could have. Swung, not swang, lol. Okay, let's see here, people. We have, someone said choppiness. Watch that price on the 1 minute. Yeah, we gotta see, people. This is kind of the last line in the sand right now. OB here on the 1, sure. I think the 2 minutes more interesting for me, and let me see the 3. The 3, it's super mad interesting. I would want it to wake up, you know? Bulls are, it's not looking that exciting for the Bulls right now. Where was my 50% mark for this OB? Really, it's the last line of the sand. I wicked it here. Here, it's closing below this. I closed right at the inversion, I guess. What's this high? 71, 75. What's this? Close. Okay. 1 tick below that. Super deep. You know, seems like no one has the bravery to be, and I don't blame them, right? To be longing in here or here, or even here right now. So it feels like lost all that momentum. I mean, I know I didn't have the bravery to long that, right? Or bias. I just didn't have the bias, bullish bias. So that's really why. Let's see. Really is just drop. Oh my gosh, yes. It's getting dangerous now. Hung out here and now it's not looking too hot. Oh, since the open, there's not really, it didn't really give us any sort of clear setup. I haven't taken a trade yet. It's 10:34. But there's a Fed speaker now, so maybe they'll inject some volatility. There you go. He said, inflation still too high at 3%. Wow. No shit. Oh, okay. Well, we took out that low. That I said would have to make me go back to the drawing board. Yeah, ES did hit that 930 high. I suppose that was really that SMT there. But I was hoping it would hit this high. Anyway, back to the drawing board. How much did ES drop already today? What's the range so far today? 75 points. On average, ES moves 81 points. For it to go drop to here, what would that range be? Be 104. It is Thursday. I mean, it's like moving about 30. If it were to hit this, it would mean that it had 30% larger range than normal. But it is no news. No high impact news. Only these Fed speakers. You have 2 more Fed speakers at noon, 12:15 and 12:20. You have the bond auction today, 30-year at 1:01 p.m. It's very hard to chase a short. Yeah, I didn't chase it from here, 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 here. So it doesn't make sense for me to really go there. I think it could be a seek and destroy type of morning. RIP to the bulls that longed this and went short. I mean, got stopped out here. It wasn't really a fast and furious break, but it did make 1 minute fair value gaps there. I guess it was. I wasn't involved, so I wasn't as diligent in watching this drop here. Chat, are we cooked? Yeah, Latex said, I don't know how to get a bearish bias on days like this if ES has highs this clean. That's why I didn't short. I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything yet. I didn't short here yet. I mean, it took out these equal highs, but it still had this one into a... I was hoping for this hourly to get it tapped into. It just stopped short of it. And the 4-hour inversion didn't tap into it either, so... You know, a lot of times, especially if NASDAQ, it was more like NASDAQ making these equal highs. Yeah, a lot of times it'll stop right before it to entice more shorts and then retrace and then take them out. So that's what I was kind of expecting. So, hey. It's too heavy right now for that. Anything else the Fed speaker's saying? Let's see. Oh, it says the crude oil inventories at 12 p.m. due to holidays on Tuesday. Yeah, okay. Yeah, today crude oil's at 12. It's hourly. Okay. Some sectors of the labor market look under pressure. Okay. He also said, I see mixed signals from the economy. He's saying a whole lot of nothing. Everything we knew already. Inflation's still too high, 3%. We knew that. It's too damn high. You guys know that meme? The rent is too damn high. That's a messy chart, yeah. Zen Trade says, screw it, I'm shorting here. Oof, that's scary, Zen. Good luck. You have a bearish breaker, I guess. Here, you have a bearish breaker here. It didn't respect anything, it just dropped through this. Was it telling you that NWOG was not filled? Yeah, it's not filled. It's what I mean, dude, I'm not going long. Relax. I said I need a good type of setup to shorten. There's just not a good setup. Yeah, it's weaker. It's below its lows on the day at the moment. As we've seen, the market can change so quickly. It's very erratic today, right? You just look at these legs. Huge leg down at the open, then huge retracement leg up, and then another huge leg down. It's not ideal conditions. Let's see, 10:45. Person who said screw it, I'm shorting, you're up right now. Someone said any major support. No, I don't really have any major support right now on here. Yeah. That's why I wasn't longing. EF has liquidity below here. It's a daily low here. I mean, a 4-hour low into an NWOG. She's dropping. I think we might get there. So really hey, if you shorted after it hit that and made that FEG, that's Fed speaker inflation, whatever, that would have worked out. I don't know if it's going to work out totally to here. But hey, it's working out so far. Good to see. What else are you yapping about? No, he just said that. The last thing he said was some sectors of the market look to be under pressure. NASDAQ, where are our next levels for NASDAQ really? Just have to start looking at wicks on the daily or weekly, VIB. The weekly wick and the daily wick are the same. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, that was the low. That was Monday. Right? Oh, no, that was last week. Okay. That makes sense. Friday was the low last week. Put that in quarters. Next, why is that like that? Extend that, right? What's funny is that people definitely felt FOMO on this way up, and then now they're feeling FOMO on the way down. Let's see here. In October, Tesla's global deliveries dropped 23% year over year, with North American sales falling to about 45,000 vehicles. I mean, I feel like everyone knew that they were going to drop since, I mean, they stopped the tax credits, right? But they're still down nearly 60,000 in September. So when did they stop the Tesla tax credit? Electric vehicle tax credit. What day was that? Yeah, it stopped on September 30th. So it's no surprise that their deliveries dropped. We're really close to that N log for yes. La, la, la. Nasdaq just filled its N log. Right, now it's at Friday's close. What kind of like movement is this? Like seriously, look at this in the last 8 minutes, 7 minutes. What is that? Definitely just hanging on by a thread, no retracements at all, super weak. Yeah, it's just tiny, small candles. Why are people so toxic in chats? Just chills, guys. Actually, I noticed there, like, yeah, there's typically the same people. So, Fernando, if you notice the same people being toxic, just ban them or time out them. But that typically just happens in a free chat, free forum, right? The toxic people are going to be the most loud. So we need good moderators. Let's do a good job. This was really it. Yeah, that huge effigy here. Tanya, do you like chocolate? Yeah. Only high quality chocolate. I have so much leftover Halloween candy. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not gonna eat it. The only good one thing like I like from Hershey's is pretty much Reese's Pieces. And then what else? Like the cookies and cream. That said to throw out the Halloween candy, I guess. Have I tried Dubai chocolate? Yeah, it's good. Had it a few times, couple times. The Nuts Factory sells it. I haven't had it in like a year though, I don't think. It's good. I think people used it as like a fad to use to drizzle onto their sweets though, and then overprice the sweets. Like I've seen like Zeppelis on with just that Dubai chocolate chocolate drizzle on, and them charging like $8 for like 2 Zeppelis. I'm like, that's insane. when really I remember, well, I don't remember the last time I really bought a Bezeppeli. It was like in high school, and I would buy like it would be like 3 for $1. It's literally fried dough. You drizzle Dubai chocolate on it, make it 10 times the price. That's wild. By itself, I think it's good. Yeah, Hershey's chocolate does kind of suck. You get what you pay for, right? It's cheap. Someone said, bro, you buy $1,000 concert tickets, lol. I bought $3,000 concert tickets before. Yeah, but that's like a once in a like that's an experience. You can't compare an experience to food, which is a commodity. And also, people like what they like. What indicators I'm using? Where do you see an indicator? The fuck? I think I literally just use like one to tell me 9:30 open. And the watermarks here that tell you guys what time frame. And this time, that's literally what my indicators are. Just tells me 9:30 open, midnight open, digital clock, and this watermark. Only getting some sort of retracement here. What time is it? It's 11. London Lad, that's true. Cocoa is so expensive now that now some cheap chocolate doesn't actually have cocoa, and now they use chocolate flavor. I believe that. Like, the local coffee shop near me upped the price of a mocha to $10 and hot chocolate to like $8. I was like, who the heck is buying that? They said it was because of, well, let's see, cocoa futures. What's the ticker for that? Cacao. What is it? Let me know. What's happening now in the chat? I have no idea, bro. Cocoa futures. Let's see. What is it? What's the ticker? Let's start trading orange juice futures and cocoa futures, yeah? CCH. $5,000. See on the monthly. Holy shit. Yeah, I know that there's two things that happen to cocoa though. Bad weather and also a pest. So the combination of that. I know it's like since last year that it's been so high. That's wild. What the heck? Well, it's dropping. Looks like now it's down on the monthly. Thank gosh. Look at the monthly on ES and NASDAQ. It's just insane. Yeah, I'm still bearish bias for pretty much. I'm gonna go in the rest of most days. Be bearish. Let's see. And it's 11/13. It's the middle of the month right now. So maybe, where's the beginning of the month? It was here. Yeah, maybe that was the manipulation. You get to see today on NASDAQ close below this daily fair value gap. I think ES still has room to the downside, but I just, like I said, even from here, yeah, we could drop. See the daily. That's possible. Yeah, on the 5, we just dropped. This is my issue, though. We just, where do you put your stop? It's about to be London close or lunch hour soon. Yeah, I personally I always look for an SMT. Just didn't really, there was one versus the 930 high, and that was it. I wanted more of in here. So, oh well. Stayed safe today, didn't take long. Yesterday was a banger day. I can't really chase price here. But coming into tomorrow, as long as we close below the daily fair value gap on NASDAQ, which we probably will, still, I'm gonna head more, think more down, lower prices are to come, right? Someone said SMT. I don't know what that means. JTT says, I'm so glad you didn't long it. I'm glad I didn't long it either. I never had it in my idea to really long. Came in bearish. It says bearish overall. Wait for good spots, SMT inversion. But unfortunately, there's not really. I mean, the same kind of setup would have been as yesterday if it had better SMT. Also, people that were shorting, there might have been people that lost on short. Can you imagine people that lost on shorts trying this 1 minute SMT and then it took them out first? Not the easiest day, so no trade for me today. But we'll be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll see you guys. Don't be a degenerate. JTT said, I love how you write it down before trading. I had days where I should have stuck with my bias. Yeah, that's the thing, is it just helps me remember. Sometimes price action can really trip you up. I mean, this pushback up definitely enticed some people to go long, right? Have a notepad by your desk. I bet most people don't have a notepad. Because everyone says stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. How are you going to stick to the plan if you don't know what your plan is? The best way to know is to write it down. You can only store so much in your head. You're already reading price action, right? You have an idea, but it's good to have it down more concrete. And then after the session's over, you can kind of review it better. All right. See you tomorrow. Don't be a degenerate. And yeah, have a great Thursday, everybody.